Yo, what's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here, continuing to cook up this NFL action, man. I'm finna cook up every single game for y'all boys right here, right now, man. I usually have the graphics on this video. We know what's going on, man. It's New Year's Eve weekend. It's a lot of moving pieces, guys, behind the scenes. I hope you guys understand that. What I am gonna do, still go through every single game on the card for this NFL Sunday. Hey, let's smash it per usual. I'm Jay Briggs, man. I have premium plays over at the site. There's a link for that in the description below. And yeah, if you're rocking with me, man. I'm active on Twitter all day long. There's a link for that in the description below as well. And hopefully you appreciate the content. If you do, smash that like button for your guy and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And without further ado, man, let's go ahead and hop right into today's NFL action. As you guys can see, I'm changing up the studio a bit, so you guys might have to deal with some weird camera angles and things like that for a couple weeks until I figure out exactly how I like it. But here we go. Let's talk some NFL action today, man. Sunday, December 31st, last day of the month, last day of the year, last day of 2023, man, the year that really changed my entire life. And you guys played a huge part in that, man. I appreciate each and every one of you boys and girls. I really, really do. I can't even verbalize it enough. All right, first game up, man. Let's go to Buffalo, where we got the Buffalo Bills laying 14 on the New England Patriots. I'm going to lean towards the Patriots in this one. Buffalo has come on as the season has progressed. That was very evident with how they smashed my Dallas Cowboys at the crib. This is a revenge spot for Buffalo, as the Patriots did beat them earlier this season. The Patriots are a bad football team. I've told you guys that for most of this season. This is a bad, bad football team. This is one of the worst teams Bill Belichick has ever had, if not the worst team. The Bills are head and shoulders the better team in this matchup today, but the Bills are not a lay 14 points type team for me. I would grab the points with the New England Patriots. I just think they're going to be able to run the football, play solid defense, control the time of possession, and keep this game within the number. That's my story. Would I be surprised at all if the Bills came in here and ran them out the building, won by 17 plus? No, I wouldn't. But, you know, in a division battle, late season, I just see this as a classic AFC battle, black and blue. These two teams hate each other. I want the points in my back pocket. Definitely, if they're giving me 2 touchdowns. Next game up, man, we got the Atlanta Falcons on the road facing the Chicago Bears. Bears laying 3 points at the crib. This is not one of my favorite games either. But if they're going to give me a full 3 with Atlanta, I am going to take the full 3. The reason I don't love this game is because we're getting a dome team, the Atlanta Falcons, out on the road in Chicago late December. It's just a terrible, terrible, terrible spot for the Atlanta Falcons. But I can tell you right here, right now, I'm not laying 3 points with the Bears. The Bears have sneakily come on as the season has progresses. And I wouldn't be surprised if Chicago won this game in the elements outside in Chicago. But laying 3 points with the Bears over a team that probably is going to make the playoffs. Atlanta, they're still in the thick of things. They need to win their division. That NFC South is wide open. But nah, man, I'm not laying 3 with the Bears. I think the Falcons can come in here with their run game, the two-headed monster, Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier. I think they can do enough to keep this game competitive, if not going to Chicago and win this game outright. The Bears are still not a good football team to me. I know they're 6-9, way better than I anticipated them being at this point in the season. But I think this is a tryout for Justin Fields for his new team. I firmly believe that Justin Fields will be on the Atlanta Hawks next year. Not the Hawks, man. I'm still in NBA mode. The Atlanta Falcons next year. I'm expecting Chicago to probably tear it all the way down after the season ends, fire head coach, probably fire everybody. And, you know, they got 2 high draft picks. They got their pick and they got the Carolina Panthers pick. So I expect them to start all the way over, probably trade Justin Fields to Atlanta and get some good compensation from them as well. We'll see if it comes to fruition. But for this game, it's a tough one, man. Taking a dome team, the Atlanta Falcons, out on the road in Chicago is a bad, bad spot, as I told you guys a second ago. But I do think they are the better team. I think they can come in here, run the football, play ball control style football, and win this game in the end. If they're going to give me 3 in my back pocket, I'm going to take it. Next game up, man, we got the Indianapolis Colts out on the road facing the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders getting 4 points on the road. The Colts looking for a bounce back, man, still trying to fight their way in the offs. The Raiders, man, hey, they're still fighting too. I'm on the Raiders in this one, man. I know they're coming off the huge win last week as a double-digit dog. They beat the Chiefs outright in Arrowhead. That is insane. The Raiders never do that. But I've told you guys consistently here on this NFL Jam session this season, I love the culture change going on here for Coach Pierce and this Las Vegas Raiders team, and you've seen it. It's been very evident after every game they win how they turn up, how close they seem to be getting. I think Coach Pierce should be the head coach moving forward for the Raiders. And I think they keep that momentum rolling forward. I think they actually try to go win their third straight. They're going to give me 4 in my back pocket. I'm going to take them. They got star players. The Raiders do have star players. Crosby, Jacobs, Devontae Adams. The Colts have had a really nice season. Gardner Minshew came in there, kept his team afloat. Hell of a season for first-year head coach Shane Steichen. He showed that even without his franchise guy who he drafted this year, and Anthony Richardson, he still is able to coach and keep a team afloat. So that was positive to see there. But I just think that the Colts are punching outside of their depth, and I'm not laying 4 points with them. That's my story. Sticking to it. I actually think the Raiders might be the better team playing the better football right now today. If they're going to give me 4 points in my back pocket, I am certainly going to take them. Give me the Las Vegas Raiders here and now. Well, next game up, man, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars laying 4 on the Carolina Panthers. The Jags, man, these boys have been free falling. These boys have lost 4 straight to Cincy, Cleveland, Baltimore, Tampa. They're back at the crib. Is this the bounce back spot? No T-Law. He's not playing today. And without T-Law, I can't lay 4 with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I just can't do it. Is this the bounce back spot? Should they win at the crib and get back on track? Yes, they should win this game. We all are well aware the Panthers, worst team in the NFL. But that still doesn't mean I'm looking to lay 4 with the Jags, expecting them to win. Carolina, hey, they've been competing here recently. We saw them beat the Falcons outright. We saw them compete and cover last week against the Packers. I think they come in here and compete and cover again against the Jags. Jags probably win it in the end, but what I've seen from Jacksonville right now is not encouraging. Nothing to say, oh, I want to go lay points with this team. And you guys know I love the bounce back spot at the crib. It's one of my favorite spots, but don't really like it in this spot with the Jags, man. They're not playing very well for me to even want to try to take them. I'm going to grab the points in my back pocket with the Carolina Panthers. Next game up, man, arguably the game of the day. We got the Baltimore Ravens at the crib, laying 3.5 points on the Miami Dolphins. I cannot wait to sit back and watch this game. I'm on the Dolphins here, though. I am. I'm going to take them plus a 3.5, and I'm also going to sprinkle on the money line, money line for the Miami Dolphins. Yes, the Ravens looked extremely good last week and smashed the San Francisco 49ers. My story on that, though, I'm not really taking too much from that. In Lamar's career, he has dominated NFC opponents. Just go look at the record. He's dominated NFC opponents. It's hard to game plan for Lamar Jackson when you really have never seen him. He's one of the, I can't really put into words what I'm trying to say, but he's an oddball. You know what I mean? You can't practice for how he's trying to attack you. And that's why NFC teams are so bad against Lamar Jackson. Now coming up against an AFC team, a team who's fairly comfortable with going up against you, Mr. Jackson. I got to grab the points with the Miami Dolphins, man. The Dolphins, they haven't, showed up mostly in these big games this year. They did show up last week in their big game and beat the Dallas Cowboys at the crib. No Jalen Waddle for the Dolphins hurts, but they still got the best receiver in the league in Tyreek Hill. Tua, for as much I don't think Tua gets enough credit for what he's done. Yes, he has one of the best receiving cores in the league, but he still got to get the ball there. I like what I saw from Tua last week. He just kind of seems like he's in control of this offense, not doing too much, just doing what his team needs. And a lot of times that's what teams need. They don't need a guy trying to step outside and do too much. It's going to be a really good game this week, man. And I think we're getting value on the Dolphins simply because of how bad the Ravens smashed San Francisco last week. I'm taking the Dolphins plus the points here. I am. And I'm also going to sprinkle some on the money line. Um, Really important game in the AFC. Shout out the Ravens. They're playing extremely great football. I love me some Lamar Jackson. I just think this is a bad spot for him. I really, really do. We'll see. We'll see how this one shakes out. But me personally, I'm on the Miami Dolphins in that one. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Next game up. Another important game, man. Playoff seeding kind of riding through this game. We got the Houston Texans laying 4 points at the crib on the Tennessee Titans. I am going to take the Houston Texans and lay those 4 points at the crib. Houston has played its best football at home at the crib thus far this season. CJ Stroud back in the fold this week, finally coming off of the concussion. His receiving core is still pretty banged up, and they haven't really been the same since Tank Dell went down. But I think this is the bounce back spot at the crib for the Houston Texans. Still got a ton to play for. Still got their whole season in front of them. They did get smashed last week at home by Cleveland, but Cleveland is playing damn near as well as anybody right now. So not overly shocked by that. We know Houston is not one of the best teams in the league. Last year they were the worst. So to even be where they are currently, hats off to him, man. Hats off to CJ Stroud. Hats off to Coach D'Amico Ryans. This team trying to get in the playoffs, man, and do a complete 1-year turnaround. And I think it kind of keeps going here today with the dominant win over the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee just played 4 of his last 5 at the crib, and they couldn't even get the ball rolling there. They lost back-to-back to Houston in overtime in Tennessee, and then they lost to Seattle last week after having a lead a good amount of that game. I just think the Texans are the better team. I think that with Stroud back, that gives them some that kind of boosts morale in the building. They're at home where they've played really solid this season. I'm expecting them to win this game by 6 to 7 plus. Should maybe even a double-digit win. The Titans, it's time to stick a fork in them. They just don't have the manpower this season. I'm taking the Texans. I'm laying the 4 with these boys at the crib. Next game up, man. Let's go to New York, where we got the Rams laying 6 points on the road. I'm not laying 6 points with the Rams on the road. Can't do it. Won't do it. Give me the Giants. Give me Tyrod Taylor and the New York Giants plus the points. I actually like what I saw from the Giants in their last game. Yes, they did lose to the Philadelphia Eagles, but boy, if you watched that game, hey, you saw what I saw. The Giants was competing. They damn near took them boys to OT at the end. Boy, Tyrod had that ball moving at the end of that football game. I personally thought the Giants kind of got cheated. We know the Dirty Tricks Committee comes out in Philadelphia, man. You're not getting them calls in Philly. It's just not happening. But I thought the Giants definitely should have gotten one. Rams, hey, when I told people the Rams were going to be right here in this place they are right now, earlier this season, people laughed at me. Everybody thought the Rams was going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL. And I told you guys then, go back and watch. That's why I love having everything 100% documented. We can go back and watch it. I told you guys, I think the Rams are going to compete here and possibly make the postseason. Need I remind you, these guys still have a Super Bowl winning head coach and a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Many teams don't have that. That's very rare to have in this time in the NFL. And they're playing really well. They've won 4 of their last 5, and I do expect the Rams to win this game. I just don't think they're a lay 6 points on the road type team. As I told you guys a minute ago, coming into the season, many people thought this Rams team was the worst team in the NFL. I didn't think that, but I now think they're just overvalued is my argument. I don't think they're a lay 6 point type of team on the road, especially not on the Giants, a team who we know is going to compete all the way through, a Giants team who has been fairly good against a number of the last few seasons. Yeah, I want the whole 6 points in my back pocket with the home dog. Give me the New York Football Giants in that one. Next game up, man. Next game up. We got the Arizona Cardinals getting 12.5 points in Philadelphia. We just talked about it, man. Philly, you just don't get them calls up there in Philly, man. You just don't. Here's the thing. I've bet in Arizona damn near every game this season, and I'm probably going to do so again. This is not one of my favorite games today. The Eagles do need this game to kind of slam the door shut on the division on the Cowboys. They need to win their next 2. They got the Cardinals and the Giants coming up, though, so they're supposed to win both of those games. No Kyler Murray. Well, we don't know. He's questionable for this game. We'll see here in a little bit when that news comes down. But with that news looming over this game, I can't make a play. I need to know if Kyler's in. But this is what I will tell you. If Kyler's in, I'm on the Cardinals. If Kyler's out, I'm leaving the game alone. I'm not laying 12.5 with the Eagles here. Would I be surprised if they won by 2 touchdowns? No, I wouldn't be surprised. The Eagles are still one of the best teams in the NFC. They're the third best team in the NFC, in my opinion, behind the Niners and Dallas. But they're head and shoulders the better team here. The dirty tricks committed. We've seen them come out plenty of times here in Philadelphia already this season. So am I rushing to the window to fade the Eagles in Philly here against a bad opponent? No, I'm not. But if Kyler plays, I kind of want those points in my back pocket. We'll see when the injury news comes down. I'll let you guys know on Twitter. So follow me. There's a link in the description below. Next game up, we got the Tampa Bay Bucks laying 2.5 points on the Saints. I'm on the Bucks laying the 2.5 points on the Saints. The Saints just lose their superpowers outside of the Caesar Superdome or the Mercedes Superdome or whatever you want to call it now. I forgot what it's called now, but I think that's the truth. Inside the dome, they get powers that, propel them to be better than they are. Outside of the dome, they're worse than what they seem to be on paper. It's kind of crazy. But Tampa has been a money-making machine for me this season, and I really don't plan on hopping off now. I do think they're playing the better football. Everybody tried to write off my guy Baker, and look at him right here, right now, man. Got the Bucks probably finna make the postseason. I'm taking Tampa here, man. What is Tampa ATS thus far this season? The Bucks are 10-5 against the number, have covered in 66.7% of their games. Yeah, I think they are able to win their 5th straight game and keep this little momentum they got rolling. They're at home at the crib. I don't trust the Saints outside of the dome. NFC South battle, man. This game is huge for this division, and I think that the Bucks are the better team, and I expect them to get it done, laying under the 3, which I think they might walk them off with a late field goal. Sign me up. I'm taking Tampa, laying the points in that one. Next game up, man. We got 1, 2, 3. We got 5 games to go, man. A lot of action today. Let's smash it per usual. Next game up, we got the San Francisco 49ers laying 14 on the Washington Commanders. We all saw the Commanders get throttled last week by the Baltimore Ravens. Now they're out on the road laying 14 on a bad team. Would I be surprised if the Niners smashed the Washington Commanders today? No, I wouldn't. I would not be surprised at all if they came in here and won this game by 17 plus. But I'm not laying 14 here with the Commanders. With the Niners. If they're gonna give me 2 touchdowns in my back pocket with the home team, I'm gonna take it with the Washington Commanders. I am. I know. It's pretty much automatic, bro. I'm just not laying 14 on the road late season in a non-motivation spot for the Niners. I guess the motivation could be just to turn around, bounce back after getting embarrassed last week. But if they were at home, I might have thought about it. But on the road, laying 14, I can't do it. Even with that explosive run game that they got with CMC, even with the solid defense, I wouldn't be surprised if the Niners won this game by 21 plus. I would not be surprised. But because I wouldn't be surprised doesn't mean that I would want to lay 2 touchdowns. Needing them to win by 2 touchdowns on the road is insane to me. The Commanders are awful. Awful, awful, awful. We understand that, but they're at home, at the crib. Don't get blown out by 2 touchdowns, please. I like the Commanders in this one. Niners are head and shoulders the better team. I told you guys for most of the season, I think they're the best team in the NFC. I've said that. I've said those words, and I still have said that. I still think right now the Niners are the best team in the NFC, but I'm not looking to lay 14 points on the road. That's my story. Sticking to it. Next game up, man, we got the Seattle Seahawks laying 4.5 points on the road on the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm on Pittsburgh plus the 4.5, and I'm probably going to sprinkle some on the money line as well. Reason being, and this is really the only reason, I'm just going to call a spade a spade. My guy, Coach Mike Tomlin, he's never had a losing season as a head coach in the NFL. That's insane, right? I know. He's never had a losing season, and I don't think this is the season where it starts. They need to win one of these last 2 games to keep his record of never having a losing season alive. They got the Seahawks today, and they got the Ravens next week. So this is the game. I doubt they're going to beat the Ravens next week, especially with the Ravens probably going to be in a bounce back spot after losing to Miami today. That's what I think. We'll see. So today's the day for Pittsburgh, man. They got to go to Seattle and get this done. And it's not that hard. It's not that it's not that hard. I don't think that the line should be 4.5. I think the line should probably be like 3, in my opinion. I think the line should be 3. Pittsburgh late season, I know what I'm getting from them. Their defense is going to step it up and play solid defense. They're going to run the football, and they're going to be right there at the end of the game. And that's all I'm asking for Pittsburgh. I think they're going to have a legitimate shot to win this game outright. I have documented record of Mike T never having a losing season. I doubt this is the year it starts. Need a win from the Steelers today. Let's get it done, Pittsburgh. I'm on the Steelers. And now one plus the points and money line. Next game up, man, we got the Cincinnati Bengals out on the road facing the Kansas City Chiefs. Interesting game here, man. The Chiefs, bro. I'm done with the Chiefs, bro. I'm done. And I say that to say it, and I'm back on them today, but I don't want to be, bro. This team has lost what? 3 straight home games, 4 straight home games. That don't even sound right. This don't even sound like the Chiefs, bro. They done lost so many times at home this season. They don't do that. The Chiefs don't lose at home. So why are they doing it now? You can hear the pain in my voice. I've been on them in them games they've lost, and it's been annoying. This got to be the bounce back spot at the crib, man. It's got to be. It's got to be, man. They got beat last week at home by the Raiders. Ew. They got beat at home by the Bills. Ew. They got beat at home by the Eagles. Ew. So, yeah, man, this team has lost 3 straight home games. The Chiefs have lost 3 straight times in Arrowhead. Don't even sound right. So, with that being said, today has to be the bounce back spot at the crib. It just has to be. I like Jake Browning. I like that he's kept the Cincinnati Bengals afloat. He's kind of looked Joe Burrow-esque. Jake Brr. You know what I mean? Jake Shiesty stepping in for Joe Shiesty. Joe Brr. You know what I mean? But I can't fade Kansas City in this spot, man. I just can't do it. This has to be the bounce back spot at the crib. The books seem to agree with me having the line at where it's at right now. Kansas City, come here and win this game comfortably, man. The Chiefs, the Bengals typically have the Chiefs number, but I think mainly it'd be because of Joe Burrow. I see this as a spot where Kansas City beats up on Cincinnati, kind of takes out some of the frustration they've had against this team the last couple seasons. Chiefs bounce back, dominant performance at the crib today is my story. Next game up, man, we got the Denver Broncos laying 3.5 points at the crib. We know what's up over this game, man. They did bench Russell Wilson. Crazy story in its entirety. I understand why they did it, though, for football reasonings. I'm somebody who has said Russell Wilson has been overrated. I told you guys when he went to Denver, that was a terrible idea for Denver to pay him the way they paid him. And here's the real reason why they're sitting Russell Wilson, in case you guys don't know. They owe him, let's just round up. They owe him $40 million this year. Simple. No matter what, they owe him $40 million. They also owe him $40 million next year as well if he were to get hurt in any capacity. So say these last 2 games, Russell Wilson were to go out there and tear his ACL or break an elbow or anything like that, then they would automatically make that $40 million for next year guaranteed as well. So their thought process is, we already know we not seeing eye to eye, Russ. We understand that. We're going to take our loss for this season. We're going to eat our $40 million for this season, and we're not going to even give you the opportunity to guarantee that $40 million for next year. You get me now? That's the story here. So I kind of understand. You don't want to you already made a $40 million mistake. You're not trying to make a double $40 million mistake. So I understand it. Stidham, he ain't that bad. He ain't that bad, man. He ain't. I made plenty of money on Stidham in preseason action before. I know this preseason action. Don't shoot me. But I think he does enough to win this game. The Chargers are awful. And I think people are going to get a little too caught up in Russell Wilson not being here for Denver. Sean Payton knows what he's doing, man. He knows what's going on in the media. When you're a guy like Sean Payton and you're benching a $40 million starting quarterback, your backup plan better be ready to go. Because if the Broncos come out here and wet the bed with Stidham, you know they're going to be calling for Sean Payton's head. So you know he has Stidham dialed in, locked in, ready for this game. I think Denver comes out here and looks well. I think they smash the Chargers. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. I trust Sean Payton and this Denver Broncos team at home against an awful Chargers team. See if they can get it done. Last game of the day, last game of the night. We got the Green Bay Packers out on the road facing the Minnesota Vikings. Ooh-wee. It's going to be a great one tonight, man. Minnesota, they've been free falling. You know, they played well there for a little stretch. And in my opinion, they should have left my guy Dobbs in there. Mullins, what has Mullins done? Nothing. Nothing. Lost. Dobbs could have lost. And I think Dobbs gives him the edge because he's a little more mobile. I think he sees the game better than Mullins. There's a reason you traded for him because you thought Mullins wasn't the guy. So you thought Dobbs was. I think Dobbs is the better starting option. That's my story. But I'm not really in love with this game, guys. I feel like this is a 50-50 game. A lot of emotion going through this game. Hey, it's going to be one of them ones. Me personally, though, if I were to bet it, I would take Green Bay. I don't like how Minnesota has played recently. That's just pretty much what it boils down to. It's not like home has just been dominant for them. They've lost back-to-back home games. They lost to Detroit 30-24, and they even let Chicago come in there and beat them 12-10. I'm on Green Bay in this one, guys. I think the Packers, who, are playing okay right now. We saw them get a win in their last one, failed to cover, but I'm leaning towards Green Bay. Not one of my favorite games tonight, Sunday Night Football, but I'm taking the Packers. I think they win this game and keep their playoff hopes alive. Well, fellas, it's NFL Week 17. Hopefully you guys appreciate the content. If you do, all I ask is that you smash that like button for your guy. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as I always say, man, if you rocking with me, rock with me. I'm active on Twitter all day long, man. There's a link for that in the description below. And of course, I have premium plays over at the site, including my NFL play of the day, man. Let's make some money today. Let's continue to kick the crap out of the books betting the NFL. My NBA jam session will be up here shortly. We swept the board last night, ATS-wise, in the NBA. I took the Lakers money line on the show, but if you grabbed them ATS, then you covered and went 6 for 6. But hey, I'll be back with the NBA here in a second. Hopefully you guys make some money today betting the NFL. I appreciate each and every one of you boys and girls. I really, really do. Let's close the year out on a high note, and let's get ready to begin the year off on the right foot. It's been your guy, Jay Briggs, man. See y'all boys and girls later. I'm out of here. Peace.